Hey folks, it's Ben. I'm here with an assembly video and a review. We've got a couple cats. This is a Feandrea cat tower. It's about 68 inches tall. It doesn't necessarily have a brand name in terms of a model, but it's a 3-tower one or a 3-basket one on top, or however you want to do it. But most cat towers of this brand will go together the same way. So we ordered it from Amazon.ca, and it comes in this nice box. It's labeled heavy everywhere. It took about 2 days to get here, so that was super convenient. But we're going to go ahead and open the box up and build it for you, so you'll know how. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can ask them too. But sometimes it's always just nice to see one go together before you stick your own together, or if you're even deciding to purchase one for your cat or not. This will be a replacement tower for ours. The thing with cat towers is they're not forever. They wear out. The cats scratch them, the poles get roughed up pretty bad. So count on maybe getting one every 2 or 3 years, depending on how many cats and how angry they are.
We have lots of cats and they're very angry.
So, yeah, you can always check out, if you're ever on Instagram, 5 Alberta Cats is where our cats do most of their display work. Opening the box, for the box opening.
We bought the light gray, not the dark gray.
Yeah, this is the light gray unit. We've got our instruction manual, which is, fun. We'll read that a little bit off camera, I think. And then looks like we have, it's in every language available. Oh, just kind of a brochure as to the company name, so I'm not overly concerned with that. Let's empty the box so we get everything together here. Here we've obviously got a cat hammock or bowl or basket or something like that. Set that off camera a little bit. We've got one of the tops. Can you get out of the way, please? Thanks. And then another cat top. And another cat top. And these have looks like a metal ferrule in there. We've got a bunch of poles, but they're the same and they're all flat with nuts in them. And then we get some scratchy ones, and this one's got some pointy parts, so we got a lot of connections that are going to be going on there. Got a small building. A bunch of these sisal scratching posts. A lot of them. Some more, I'm going to call them furry tubes. And a bunch of little, I guess you'd call them cat balls.
How about your helper?
And I don't even know if my helper's on TV. Then we've got more cat fur tubes.
Yes, she is.
More fur tubes. And then we have, another building. Kind of neat how they did that.
Yeah, they're kind of foldy.
Yeah.
I feel like it already.
Now we've got, okay, so inside, oh, nice. So this bag of bolts and stuff that we'll need is actually tethered to the side of the box with a pink string. So that's cool. And then we have some, it's one of the ramps / scratching pad.
I guess that way if the box got damaged, the bolts couldn't fall out.
Right, yeah, you wouldn't lose the bolt bag. And we've got a level of some kind. And then we have, oh wow, it's got the base. It almost looks like it was pre-constructed. One would say, hope it's pre-constructed and not per se used, but it's got the title right there. It doesn't seem used, it smells fresh. Little platform. And then the last big platform too. So that's it for the box and the assembly. So we've got all our components here. That's what's in the bag or the box. Let's take a second here. We'll read the manual real quick and then we'll start putting the thing together. Okay, so your manual is actually super helpful. It's in a million languages, so that's not helpful, but the picture guide is primarily what we're using. So take the contents of your box, and what I've done, especially for this video, is laid them out. So it goes through with a picture of each one, what they are, and it's actually printed on each one what they are as well. Like this is part B, so it's done alphabetically. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and the I's here. The I and the J. So you lay them all out, and that makes it easy. And then the same with the furry poles. They're all labeled too. They have a sticker on them. So this is a P1, There's 4 of those. P2s, there's 3. There's 1 P3, 1 P4, 3 P5s. Are these? No, these are
2P5s.
2 P5s, a P6, P7s. There's 8 of them actually. And then the hardware itself is also, there's a lot of it, but it's not hard. There's 2 little ones, 2 medium ones, and the rest are large. They're all the same size. It also comes with a little anchor and a sheetrock screw for the support. These weird little studs. But that's all it is for hardware, so it won't be too confusing. So we'll go ahead and just go page by page and we'll get this thing together. So it actually starts with part A and all the P1s, so that's these guys here. And it's also going to use 4 of the larger bolts you see right here. And it does come with a hex key for it. So we'll just get them all set up here. We'll time lapse the assembly parts and we'll come back and talk between each assembly segment. So that's assembly 1. I placed all 4 in the bolts through the bottom, and then you can tighten them in, and then you don't want to crank on these. It's just wood and bolts and plastic, so make it tight but not crazy tight, obviously. And the next step is to take part B, which is this name here, and we're actually going to be taking the littlest screws you can have, so the 2 little guys, and we're going to be connecting the ramp to the bottom of it. So if you look here underneath the bottom, there's 2 holes that are on the long side right here. And apparently it mounts like so. So step 3 has us actually rotating this over. I'm going to move my pieces back here. And I don't know if it sets up it seems like it's square. You just bend this up a little bit. It's just on bendy metal. And then we take 4 of our stakes that you have here, the double threaded ones. You actually thread them through into the pole that's underneath. As far as there is a dimension to it. It is a little rectangular. So this actually has to come this way. And now the holes line up. So this next part where we've attached the ramp to, this thing is actually rectangular. It looks square, but it's actually a little bit wider than it is deep. You want to put these studs in the front 2 holes here, as per the instructions, and then you're going to go with 2 regular long bolts in the back. It doesn't say when to stop, so I'm going most of the way and then I'll stop. These back ones obviously will go all the way. The next part is part 4. We're actually taking the G assembly, which is this big house you see here, this little tent house, and we're going to be filling it with 4 of these little fur towers. And we're going to be using the W4s on either end. So we've got 4 of these to put in. Each side gets a screw and it becomes just one assembly. So that was a little tricky getting the holes lined up just right. As you can see, I was kind of fumbling there to get them down there. Lighting isn't super great in here either, but I'm just making sure they're snug because we just did adjust the bottom on them. And then we'll move on to the next step. So step number 5 is where we take the house we just built. We take the medium size, not the tiny ones we use for the ramp, but the medium size, one of those. There's actually a hole on the bottom, and there's actually a joining piece on the bottom of this house here. So you're going to have to mess around, or am I? Maybe not, to actually get that bolt into that hole, and it bolts the house down safely. So you're going to have to figure that out. And then we have, pay attention here because we do have a change in parts. So the one next to the little window is P4, which is this one. So that's going to turn on to that stud that's there. and the one that's next to it is P3, so I guess I do that backwards, but the difference being is that this has a little bit of thread coming off the top and this one doesn't. So just be sure to kind of line it up on your instructions, make sure you put them in the right spot here, and then you can watch me suffer as I try to get this into this. What I'm going to do is just lift this up, stick the bolt through, and then try to line it up to the, it's pretty darn close when it's squared up nice. There it goes. Just tighten it down. And that's just going to keep that stiff. We got these legs in, we're going to make them nice and tight. And that's the thing about these double-ended ones, is that if you tighten them, it actually tightens them on both ends. So that's that piece. Next is going to be, thank you, kitty on that one. We're going to be using our little cat bowl here, and we're going to be putting it on P3, which does not have a stud. Take one of our double-end ones and run it through. It looks like it's like a steel plate here. So, and this will actually hang out to the side angle here. It won't actually be set until we put something on it, but at least the stud's in there. Next up for us, we have the P5, these little short guys. There's one here, and there's one here, and then the P6, of which there's one of, actually goes on top right here. So this will be our little tie-down mechanism for that. And then, so P6 is on the alone here. And then we have the little F platform. So it's got an F on the bottom here. That actually finishes its life right here on this little tower. So we'll go ahead, and the only way to put that one on is to spin it on. So you just put that stud in the nuts and get it started to thread. There we go. And it's engineered so that it can spin, so that's brilliant. So that's end of line for that pole. Next segment for construction is actually the C panel. It's this large one here with a little cat ball hanging off of it, and we're actually going to be setting it up this way. So where our flat panel is, there's a hole, and then we're going to be using our two of our double threaded connectors, and then a W4 in the back corner here, and then we'll proceed to the next step. Next up for us is we're going to take our other smaller little cat room, take these little furry legs, put them in, and same as the bottom one here, we got to put a screw on each end of the tube till we have the whole thing made into a box. Once you have the little house set up, same as the bottom one, there's a hole here, and there's actually a little nut here that you put the medium size one, the last medium size one, through the bottom and into through the bottom hole here and into the house so it doesn't move around. Now we're getting to the tall parts. So we take our P2 tubes, which are the ones with a thread on one end and not, and we put them in 3 locations. We got the 2 studs that are on the end, and we're going to put a long nut through the middle of this house here. Next up is going to be step 11, which is actually putting the 3 J platforms on. And I'm guessing by the lack of parts here, we're getting pretty close to being done.
Nice.
Now each platform has its own little balls you want to release for the kitties to attack, and then it came with a bunch of extra balls, I'm guessing when these get destroyed by the kitties, you can go ahead and replace them. So that's how you construct it. We'll let you know. We'll do another little video here in a month or two. There is a strap that you use your sheetrock anchor, so when you put it against the wall where you're going to have it and you're worried that the kitties are going to knock it over. I know we have cats going up to 15 pounds, so we'll see how that goes. But Leo here will see how he likes the little kitty houses, and Muscles is already in there. And you've seen Sporty Spice run around too. The other kitties are kind of taking a nap right now. But if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. They also suggest that you actually use the box that you had and make a little cat house out of it as well by cutting little holes and windows on it and letting your cats play with it. And it even shows you how to make a little, cardboard house. So that's kind of a cute cat part too. You stuck, Leo? But if you have any questions, comments, subscribe to Red Barn Homestead channel, where we typically do assembly videos, or the 5 Alberta Cats channel, which we'll also probably put this video on as well, just because they need content. And you guys have a good day. Hey, Leo? Oops. Oh, he's so agile.